you're going to be seeing that Lee Sin taken off. He's been banned quite a bit, so, you know, I'm really just not surprised. It's all picked or banned. Misfortune, very similar fashion. I believe those, well, it's not I believe, those two are the two most banned champions throughout the entirety of this event. And also, Akali banned away. Doesn't get banned as often as Singularity. Their composition, that's a strong one. And Zor, as of recently, has been playing a ton, and I mean a ton, not only in Mobile Mayhem, but also the other European events currently happening. He's been playing that Ziggs so much, and Ziggs, let's not forget, did get nerfed in terms of his turret pushing capabilities, but his Mega Inferno Bomb got a 20% range increase. So in terms of team fighting, Ziggs, most of the time in the final stats, you would see him be the top damage dealer, but with that buff to his ultimate, he's going to be even more of a threat upon those engages.
Yeah, I mean, the turret execution was nerfed, but like
5%, yeah.
It wasn't that impactful. I mean,
small one.
Yeah, 5% threshold on it.
Impact apparently on Futbolist here, because he's the one who, I believe the only one actually that played a Darius jungle as of recently, at least in the European competitive scene. And seem like Futbolist are going to give it their own little take on that pickup. So we'll see if things are going to be working out just fine. But there we go, diving into the first game of this matchup. It's going to be Singularity making their way down already. Both teams going to be looking to put some wards early on, potentially to get some vision control to make sure they don't get invaded. But level 1, the two of these teams, maybe not the strongest. There's no Braum, so you don't really want to force it if possible. But I'm sad. This is a day where we've been seeing some Blitzcrank get picked in other events, but not today. And I'm a little bit sad because I love my Blitzcrank. It's a fun pick, but not today. Feels bad, man.
Blitzcrank, if you're good with Blitzcrank, he can actually take over a game almost single-handedly. But against the top players, a lot of them are going to be very skilled at dodging out those hooks.
Yeah.
And preventing themselves from being grabbed.
I just like complaining. That's all. That's mostly it. I just want to complain. The top side, a little bit of a 1v1 happening so far. It's going to be Caglian level 1 versus a level 1 Rampog. And the shield's going to get popped away instantly. No more barrier. Unfortunately, going to be available for Caglian. So Rampog is going to be trying to keep him at bay. And he's going to freeze the lane, making sure that Camille cannot get as much gold and just XP also from those minions. So overall, this is Caglian a little bit on the back foot.
Yeah, Fiora is one of the few champions that actually has a good matchup into the Camille. Because, you know, Camille, the biggest strength of Camille is the fact that she gets that shield whenever she goes in. But Fiora can easily wait that shield out, especially if she times the riposte really well. Then all of a sudden, you know, once that shield is down, you can win a trade against the Camille very hard. So I actually like this pickup to... right, I say the pickup, but the Camille was picked after the Fiora, I believe. So... but I like the matchup here for Rampog to be able to have that one-on-one matchup for a while, and we'll see how long it actually stays as a one-on-one matchup, as oftentimes teams do make a swap in the lanes as soon as the dragon is down, as the Rift Herald becomes the next focus objective. But right now it does look like Sweest is lurking and maybe looking to make something happen here.
Some barrier on Elpis, though. Lurkner does not have that level 5, so he cannot pop the shockwave. And that's going to be the stun coming out from the trample of You're Wonderful. And that's going to be given the second kill of this game over to the side of Singularity. 2 kills now, as another kill was actually picked in the top side. That's going to be a very dead Caglian, unfortunately. And now they're looking for the re-engage. I'm not too sure why Rekner's there, flashing his way to safety and using the barrier also. They're just getting zoned, and there you go. Another 2 kills getting picked up. 1 for the Jarvan and 1 for the Ziggs. And they're going to take down that tower also. So overall, this is just a fantastic start for Singularity as a whole.
Yeah, they get a lot of damage here on the bottom lane. They saw the Darius, the Darius lurking in the top side. He does go in for the engage. They get the kill up in the top lane, but meanwhile, everyone on the side of Singularity says, "Hey, you know, lane swapping's not a thing, but we're still going to go for it anyway." They take down the bottom turret with 4 members. Even through all that extra armor and defenses that the turret gets, they still managed to take that down sub 3 minutes.
Because they was there as a 4-man team, that means that the overall base armor and also magic resist they got was an extra... it was an extra 200. They got himself an extra 200 armor on that, and they still were able to take it down, mainly off the bat that they do have then the Ziggs that can, with this passive, take down those towers really, really quickly. And overall, this is normally a position and a playstyle that you would not see if none of the players died on the side of Futbolist. But because they picked up already 4 kills early on there, 3 of those being in the bottom side, to feel like, okay, they're going to respawn. The time is relatively short, but the time they walk back to lane without boots already in their kit is going to make things really easy for them to take those towers. So really good fight coming out from them. Though on the top side, Caglian just keeps on getting cyber bullied by Rampog. And he's just really using this matchup to his full potential. I got to say, Rampog is playing this matchup really well. As an Orianna falls down once more, and the Drake is just about to spawn. That is not the best time to die, Rekna.
Yeah, really. Well, I mean, Rekna didn't exactly have a choice there. It was a nice flag and drag combo from Difference, and then able to use the Cataclysm to lock him in place, and then the Ziggs bomb comes over the top, and there's just nowhere for him to go. So really nice combo there. And now they're going to be finding Sweest as well and taking down the jungler as the dragon spawns. This means this is pretty much a guaranteed dragon for the side of Singularity. And, well, early on, it definitely looks like whatever issues they had in the first few weeks have been well and truly sorted out, because they have looked very strong here in the first 5 minutes.
Usually in just, as you said, 5 minutes, I would not say this, but I'm going to say it. GG easy. Singularity, I think that here's just already a lead at this stage of the game, that if they do not throw or do something, they don't do something inherently bad, I think that they already got the game in the bag with this. It was their type of scaling composition too. They have a Fiora amazingly good at split pushing, or when you see a Fizz most of time in your game, sorry, Fizz, Ziggs, he's going to be top damage of your game. So I think that overall they got a composition that if they get a lead, it's just extremely hard to shut down. And especially you're looking at Sweest on this Darius, especially the champion that once it falls behind, he struggles to get back in the game in a really good spot. It's very similar to the likes of an Olaf. If they're behind, they're going to be behind for a pretty big portion of that game unless a fight is handed to them on a silver platter. So I think that here Futbolist is going to require a lot of time and resources if they want to kick this comeback into gear. But even then, I think there's just going to be such a hard thing to happen. The odds are just definitely not in their favor.
Sweest is going to have to now contend with the fact that his jungle can be invaded almost at will. I mean, you look at the difference between the Darius and the Jarvan, it's almost 2,000 gold. And right now they're going to be looking for some fighting here in the enemy jungle. Again, you have to be real confident to be looking for fights in the opponent's jungle. And that's exactly what the members of Singularity are doing. And, you know, they didn't get any kills there, but they do force the members of Futbolist to back up, which means that they're able to now just rotate up to this turret, taking down a second turret of the game. Most likely, nope, not quite going to be able to take that one down just yet. Next wave coming through, though, should be the end of this top to outer turret.
It's going to be falling down eventually. Herald is now going to be up also, so it could be seen the side of Singularity. They're trying to take a little bit more control of this blue side jungle. So he's in a pretty bad spot. Headbutt Pulverize could be coming on through. Does get polymorphed because that is mainly what Pigas is good at. He is a pretty good counter. Instantly bursted away. And that's going to be for a difference, picking up kill number 7 for the team. They're looking even for more. Ashe, despite being at a really safe range, she still falls eventually. And this tower should be falling pretty soon, but still gets an extra. This time around, 300 base armor. Great 3-man shockwave, by the way. But unfortunately, there's no follow-up because they're just lacking damage because there's an already 7,000, maybe almost 8,000 gold lead going in their favor of Singularity. So it's just so hard to deal damage when you're already so far behind in terms of gold. So they're going to be looking for the engage once again, but it seemed like overall Singularity are not interested in terms of kills. They're mostly interested on that Herald, but they're just not going to commit to it for the time being.
Yeah, they know that the respawns from the earlier kills they picked up were coming through, and just didn't want to risk getting engaged on while they were trying to take down that Herald. So they back away. They've got a big lead. Like you said, about 7,000 gold in their favor. They've gotten the outer turrets in both of the side lanes, and that mid lane turret is down under 1,000 health now. So that one will be falling here in a few minutes' time once they do decide to commit to it. But just going to be sending this Corki to the side lanes, Fiora to the side lane as well. And I thought it was going to be Futbolists with the 1-3-1 composition, but instead it's Singularity that are able to pull this off as they find themselves a Rekna on his own, get that isolated kill, and now they're going to turn their attention towards this top lane before they go after the Rift Herald.
Guess it's slow on the sweep, so Caglian will be able to sneak his way out of that one. But he said the 1-3-1 comp. I'm going to say for Futbolist is 0-0-0 comp, as they're mostly always going to be dead and not able to make the most out of it. Herald is up for a difference. Finally going to be looking to put that focus onto that position. No, the mid tower should be falling. Headbutt Pulverite. No, just Headbutt. Going to be putting Pigas in a really bad spot, forcing the flash away. And because of the passive of Zor, he's going to be for the mid tower control once again, making it really hard for Futbolist to find a good fighting ground. Ashe being way too far out of position. And the issue with Ashe too is that when she gets dived upon, her kit is not great to peel away. Sure, she's got the arrow, but the shorter range the arrow goes, the smaller the stun is actually going to be. So it's just not able to get a significant enough CC. And at the end, it's just Singularity. They're just not getting punished for those aggressive pushes. And now they're going to trade that back into another Drake. And that's going to be the Ocean, adding some extra vampirism to their kit. So they're just showing no signs of slowing down here, Tasty.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned the first 2 matches of the day were one-sided 2-0 stomps. And, I mean, we're still pretty early in this one, only 9 minutes into game number 1. But this is looking like it has the potential to be yet another lopsided affair as Singularity just have a massive lead going here. Look, they do lose a turret in the top lane, and they're not going to be able to catch the Camille or the Darius on the retreat. But they've taken so much more across the map that they're not going to be too heavily concerned about a single turret falling.
Already, most of the players are going to be making their way towards the second item for Singularity, which is not really the case, you would say, for the rest of Futbolist, as they're only hitting the first power. Rampog, though, as you say, he's going to be in a little bit of a 1v2, chased away. Doesn't want to take those chances, especially with Caglian being in that fight. Not really the best spot to go in. Unfortunately, Mega Inferno Bomb not going to connect. Another great shockwave from this Orianna. It really goes to show if they were ahead, this Orianna would do so much work, but unfortunately, the damage is just severely lacking on their side. Then the top side, Rampog forcing another 1v1. Did have the Ectic Ultimatum. Who's going to win this one? Caglian now doesn't have the shields anymore. He's just burning on down. Rampog also going to go low himself. He gets knocked back for a few seconds, but at the end, Fiora will be in such a good spot in terms of itemization. That is a really nice fight going his way. Now the Herald being popped in mid, they're going to make their way back to the Baron pit.
Yeah, using the Herald just to buy some time. Looks like I thought they were going to commit to the Baron, but instead they're setting up a brush that Asher is going to actually find out for a difference there. So they know that they're not actually committing to it. So ends up being kind of a wasted Herald. I like the idea, trying to use it as a bait to say, hey, we're going to send this Herald and you can come check Baron, but it actually doesn't even matter. They decide, oh, you don't come to us, fine. We'll bring the fight to you. Finding 2 quick kills there is Singularity. And now they can maybe look for the Baron for real, although they did lose Ziggs in that fight.
He was literally frontlining that. He was just like, okay, I'm going for it, boys. But not really where you want to be as a Ziggs. You're relatively squishy, even though you can jump back to safety. Rekno going to have to go golden under his own tower. Rampog, that's not going to be an issue for him whatsoever, as he's still going to pick up the kill. Caglian going to try his luck. Hectic Ultimatum is still going to be up and available, but you know that because of the self-sustain of Rampog and the 1v1 capabilities, he's still going to try and take those odds. But as he gets bumped away, and this is why Alistar into Camille is so good. Go for the headbutt. It denies the entire ultimate. The Hectic Ultimatum is just gone down the drain. So Alistar drafted into Camille is also a really good pickup for Singularity.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of champions have the ability to do that. Alistar, obviously, one of the best because it's on a regular ability. You know, Gragas is the other one that comes to mind, but that's on an ultimate, so you have to trade ult for ult. Whereas, again, Alistar just says, oh, you know, just a regular, 5-6 second cooldown, and your ultimate is no longer available.
That's how you do in draft. Play it perfectly, and then you just can't deny so many options and the kit of the entire enemy team as long as you draft it properly. So you're wonderful, definitely doing what he's supposed to do. Gonna go for the explosion, instantly into the Cataclysm. He's gonna get himself the Darius in a really bad spot. Another 3-man shockwaves. They're so clean, but yet just damage is severely lacking. Great dive forward from, well, great dive. You know what? I'm gonna take that one back. That was a bad dive from Rampog. You should not have been over there. And he's just going to get instantly obliterated. Only the 3rd kill going away off Futbolist, though. But at the end, they came what they wanted. They came what they came for. They got what they came for, should I say. And that's going to be the mid tower falling on down. The inhib tower going the way of Singularity. Even looking potentially for a second. And with the Ziggs, there's not really much that Futbolist can do against that.
I do like, at the very least, Futbolist is using their Camille to split push. They did get a couple of turrets in the top lane, but they have now lost 2 inhib turrets as the dragon is spawning, which means that they're going to have to be standing in their base because the super minions are going to start pouring on in. So this should be another dragon going the way of Singularity and just extending this lead even further. So again, doing what they can to try and staunch the bleeding a little bit with that Camille in the side lanes, but it's just not going to be enough as this dragon is going to be started up here. Their Jarvan's not even in the pit. He's just on the outside, just making sure to zone in case anyone does try and come and contest this dragon. Finally goes in to get that smite. And now 3 elemental drakes for the side of Singularity. And with only 1 lane still having any turrets left, you got to figure that's going to be the next focus.
I mean, Futbolist, before that Drake, they already had 1 foot in the grave, and that second Drake was an extra 8% damage increase. It's just, they're just getting shoved in the grave, and they're already getting surrounded by dirt, and then they're in a really bad spot. So, I think that here we're just looking at these finishing moments. They're going to try and crash himself the wave into the top side. Just make sure that there's no position from which Futbolist can find an even standing. They got already the inhib tower in both mid and bottom side. Because of that, it's going to create some natural pressure in those respective lanes. There you go. Zor's going to be joining up. The passive is going to get popped, and there you go. It falls. They didn't even need the passive. They just destroy it so damn quickly. Now looking for the final tower from Futbolist. This is a 4-man shockwave. Once again, they're so good, but there's no damage. It's so severely lacking. They're trying to push their way backwards. Instant push forward, especially from the Corki on the Valkyrie. They're not able to find himself any kills inherently, but now they're going for round 2, and Elpis is in like the worst position you could imagine, and that is going to be a very, very dead Ashe, as now the wave is keeping on pushing. They do not have the Baron buff anymore, but it doesn't really matter. The Nexus is going to be focused down, and that's going to be an easy game 1 going the way of Singularity. Futbolists, they were just not there. That was not their game.
Yeah, not at all. And they knew it at the very end there. Camille signed them that. So, again, they at least tried to make something happen. They tried to get what they could. But once you have those super minions pouring in, that split push option becomes so difficult because now it takes so long.